After just 3 weeks, something very simple became hard to ignore. In one part of the garden, a raised bed sat in the sun. The soil looked dry on top. The leaves were a little pale. Some plants leaned slightly as if they were asking for more water. Just a few steps away in the ground itself, another group of plants was growing quietly. The leaves looked fuller. The color was deeper green. The soil underneath felt cool, even later in the day. Both areas were planted at the same time. They received the same sunlight. They were cared for in the same way. And yet, the results were very different. This can feel confusing at first. Raised beds are often described as the better option. They are neat, they look organized, they seem easier to manage. So when the simpler method begins to do better, it creates a question. Over the years, this pattern has shown up again and again. In different seasons, with different crops, the same quiet difference appears. If this feels surprising, you're not doing anything wrong. There's a reason this keeps happening. And once you see it, the garden starts to feel much easier to understand. Before explaining why this happened, it helps to understand how raised beds became so popular in the first place. For many gardeners, raised beds feel like a helpful starting point. They are easy to see and reach, do not have to bend as much. The edges create a clear space, which can make planning feel simpler. Everything looks tidy and controlled. Many beginner guides also suggest raised beds. They promise better drainage. They often mention fewer weeds. For someone just starting, this advice feels reassuring. It gives a sense that you are doing things the right way. There is also a visual comfort. A wooden frame filled with fresh soil looks clean and organized. It feels like a fresh start. For many people, that feeling is important, so it makes sense. That raised beds became so widely used, they offer structure. They offer clarity. For some situations, they can be helpful. But sometimes a small detail is missed. And that detail can slowly affect how the plants grow. At first, it may not be obvious. The plants still grow. They still respond. But over time, a pattern begins to appear. One of the most common things that goes unnoticed is how quickly the soil dries out in a raised bed. The soil is lifted above the ground. Air can move around it more easily. Sunlight reaches the sides as well as the top. This can cause the moisture to leave the soil faster than expected. At the surface, everything may look fine. But just below, the soil may already be losing water. This means plants begin to depend more on frequent watering. They may look healthy in the morning, but by afternoon, they can start to show signs of stress. Leaves may soften slightly. Growth may slow without being obvious at first. Over time, this creates a quiet cycle. The gardener waters more often. The soil dries again. Plants adjust, but they rely more on regular care. This is not a mistake. It is simply how the environment of a raised bed works. To understand this more clearly, it helps to look below the soil, where most of the real activity takes place. Beneath the surface, the soil is not just dirt. It is a living system. There are tiny organisms, roots, and natural layers that work together. These layers help hold moisture. They help move nutrients, create balance. When plants grow directly in the ground, they connect to this larger system. Their roots can reach deeper. They can find moisture that stays longer. The soil temperature remains more stable. In contrast, a raised bed creates a separate environment. The soil is contained, does not connect as deeply with the ground below. This can limit how water and nutrients move. It does not mean raised beds cannot grow plants. They certainly can, but they often require more support to maintain the same balance that natural ground provides on its own. This is where a quieter method begins to stand out. It is not new. In fact, it is very old. But it is often overlooked because it feels too simple. This method involves growing directly in the ground, allowing the soil to function as it naturally does. There are no added structures, no frames, no special setup. At first, this may seem almost too basic. It may not feel like a method at all. But over time, the results begin to speak for themselves. Instead of controlling every part of the environment, this approach allows the soil to support the plants in its own way. The details of how this works become clearer when you begin to notice small changes. One of those moments often comes quietly. There may be a day when you realize you did not water as often, yet the plants still look healthy. The leaves remain firm. The color stays consistent. You may press your fingers into the soil and feel that it is still slightly moist beneath the surface. Even after a warm day, this is when something shifts in understanding. The plants are not working harder. Soil is helping more. Growth begins to feel more stable. There are fewer sudden changes, less need to adjust constantly. The garden feels calmer. For many gardeners, this also brings a sense of ease. There is less pressure to check every day, less worry about missing the right moment to water. This does not mean no care is needed, but the care becomes lighter. Gentle at this point, it is also helpful to look at a common misunderstanding that many gardeners share. It is easy to believe that more structure means better results, that building more, adding more, or organizing more will improve the garden. This idea comes from a good place. It comes from wanting to do things correctly, but sometimes it leads to overbuilding. Raised beds, extra layers, added systems. One adds effort, and sometimes it also adds distance from the natural balance of the soil. The truth is, plants do not always need more structure. They often need the right conditions. And those conditions are sometimes already present in the ground itself. When we follow trends without observing our own garden, we can miss what is already working. This is why it becomes important to consider your environment as well. Gardens do not behave. It's the same in every place. Climate plays a quiet but powerful role. In warmer areas, soil can lose moisture quickly. Sunlight is stronger. Air movement is higher. In these conditions, raised beds may dry out even faster. In cooler or more humid areas, the difference may be less noticeable. Moisture stays longer. Soil remains more balanced. If your climate tends to be hot or dry, growing directly in the ground can help retain moisture. The deeper soil acts like a reserve. It holds water longer and releases it slowly. This does not mean one method is always right. It simply means the environment shapes the outcome. Understanding this helps you make gentler decisions for your garden before making any changes. There is one small caution to keep in mind. Not all soil is ready right away. Some ground may be compacted. Some may need time to improve. It is best not to rush or disturb the soil too deeply all at once. Instead, start with a small area. Observe how it responds. Notice how water behaves. Notice how the plants adjust. Avoid turning everything over at once. The natural layers in the soil have developed over time. Keeping them mostly intact can help maintain balance. This gentle approach reduces effort and allows you to learn from your garden step by step. As this understanding grows, one idea becomes clearer. Doing less can sometimes lead to better results. When the soil is allowed to function naturally, it supports the plants in ways that do not require constant attention. Moisture stays longer, roots grow deeper, growth becomes steadier. Instead of managing every detail, the gardener begins to observe more and adjust less. This shift is quiet, but it is powerful. Watering becomes less frequent. Changes become easier to notice. The garden feels less demanding. Over time, this creates a different kind of rhythm, one that is slower, more stable, and easier to maintain. If you are comfortable sharing, I'm curious how often you find yourself watering your plants, especially during warmer days. There's no need to change everything at once. You can begin with a small section. Watch how it behaves. Compare it gently with what you are already doing. Let the garden show you what works best in your space. Sometimes, the simplest path is the one that brings the most steady results. And sometimes, the garden improves when we simply step back and observe. Do less, get more.